Hey, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Know the Game here on Sideline Sports. Connor, joined with Gavin as usual, and
What's up, buddy?
almost forgot to let you say hello. Um, this is episode number 6 of Know the Game, and today I feel like there is a lot of things to talk about. A lot of stuff has happened in the past 24 plus hours of sports. So, just to go over what we're gonna talk about, the Bucks won the NBA Finals on Tuesday, the day we recorded the last episode. So we'll talk about that. Talk about NBA trade rumors again, and then the Cleveland Indians have changed their name for next season. We will discuss that, as well as the Tampa Bay Rays making a few trades and some other trade rumors across the MLB, and then some NFL stuff. The NFL is pretty much requiring players and coaches to get vaccinations. Otherwise, there will be heavy consequences. Michael Thomas could miss the start of the season, and one of the best receivers in the game is unlikely to reach an extension with his team. And then we'll also go give our top 5 Super Bowl rings, as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers got their ring a few days ago, yesterday, I believe. And then we may possibly discuss the Texas and Oklahoma leaving the Big 12 to head to the SEC. So Gavin, let's get things started here with the Bucks.
So, the day that we recorded episode 5 was a day that Game 6 was played, and the Bucks were ahead 3-0, and now they're ahead 4-0, which means that they won the NBA Finals 105-98 against the Phoenix Suns. They were down 2-0, came back and won 4 straight games. Pretty crazy, if you ask me, if you ask anybody. The Suns really choked this series. You know, they had a chance. They were 2 games away, and they lost 4 games straight, and they just couldn't handle Giannis's greatness, because 50 years from the Bucks winning their NBA championship, Giannis put a 50-point game to win their first championship in 50 years.
Dude, Giannis had an all-time performance in Game 6 of the Finals, dropping 50 points, and he had a career night from the free throw line as well. He made, I believe it was 17 free throws, and he literally led the Bucks team to that championship. And I mean, the Suns just have not played good since the second game of the series. That's really like all you can say for the Suns, man.
Yeah, like it's pretty much an on and off team with Devin Booker and Chris Paul. So like if Devin Booker is putting up a lot of points, Chris Paul isn't. If Chris Paul is, Devin Booker isn't. See, that's kind of like how it was in this game. Chris Paul putting up 26. That's still not a lot of points for like how much you need them to put up. But Devin Booker only putting up 19. That is not okay. And DeAndre Ayton, he got only 6 rebounds. I think that's probably the lowest he got all playoffs, because he has been a rebound machine. And the Suns, they just haven't been the Suns that they have been this playoffs this series.
Yeah, I mean the Suns throughout the entire playoffs has been obviously the best team in the Western Conference. They made it to the finals, but probably one of the best teams in basketball. Taking the Lakers in 6, then sweeping the Nuggets, then beating the Clippers in 6 games as well. And then obviously they went up 2-0 on the Bucks, and people thought, dang, the Suns are about to sweep the Bucks, or at least win in 5. And then they just could not win a game. They could not put together 1 rebounds, but 2 an offensive game from more than just one player. And that's really what led them to lose this series, which was right in their hands.
Well, this could have been an episode that did go up. Me and Connor both predicted the end of the who would win. I predicted Suns in 6. Connor predicted Bucks in 7. Connor got the team right, and I got the game right. So none of us won the thing. But the Finals MVP was a man who pretty much dominated the whole entire playoffs, and then is Giannis Antetokounmpo. He put up 50 points this game. He put up 40 plus points every other game. in this series. His live streams were so like funny. If you guys watch those, he put a picture. He posted a picture on his story of putting the Finals MVP and the Larry O'Brien Trophy to bed.
That was
Like
so funny, bro.
that is Giannis is one of the most lovable people in the history of basketball right now.
You know what's even crazier is there's only 3 players in NBA history to win an MVP, Defensive Player of the Year, and Finals MVP. Those players are Hakeem Olajuwon, arguably the greatest center of all time, Michael Jordan, the greatest basketball
Arguably,
player of all
arguably
time,
the best player of all time.
and now Giannis Antetokounmpo, who joins that club of 2 Hall of Famers, the best at their position, arguably, and that's just crazy. He's only 26 years old and has a resume that's Hall of Fame worthy already, and he has so many years left in his career.
Yeah, I mean he's a two-time MVP. Like both of them coming off back-to-back seasons. You know,
Yeah,
Giannis, he's only 26, and he's probably gonna be playing for 12 more years. And if he keeps this up, man, who knows? Who knows what the future's gonna hold up for him, man? Like, cause if he keeps this up, a lot of people are gonna be arguing that he's gonna be the best player of all time.
yeah. I mean, there's really no argument if he keeps up what he's doing at this pace.
So we got a couple Los Angeles Lakers like talks because Lakers. I feel like this offseason before and this offseason right now, they've been basically the head of like who is like if this person is going to a team, they're going to Lakers. Like Damian Lillard, and now Russell Westbrook and Chris Paul. You know, they're both free agents. Um, Connor, who do you think would fit better with the Lakers, Russell Westbrook or Chris Paul?
I would think Chris Paul would fit way better. You know, him and LeBron are best friends, and I don't. They've never actually like played an NBA game together. They may have played All-Star games and um, Olympic games together, but I think he just fits better because Chris Paul has played with guys like Devin Booker and James Harden. He's played with superstar players before, and has been able to be kind of push aside and let them take care of the duties. And I think Russell Westbrook would just kind of like stagnate the offense.
Yeah, I mean Russell Westbrook is a triple double machine.
Oh yeah,
He broke Oscar Robertson's record this last season for most triple doubles in a single career, and he's not even done yet. These last couple of years, Russell Westbrook has been traded around the league, and now he's was on the Washington Wizards. It's kind of hard, because Chris Paul gets a lot of assists. He can help the team out a lot. Russell Westbrook also puts up a lot of assists, also puts up a lot of points, puts up a lot of rebounds. Chris Paul could have been, should have been on the Lakers a long time ago,
oh
but
yes,
was in the wrong LA jersey. But honestly, I think just coming off recent seasons, Chris Paul would fit way better with the Lakers just because he's a veteran player just like Russ Westbrook is. But he passes the rock a lot. He's very smart. He has a very high basketball IQ. He can play really good point guard if the Lonzo thing doesn't work out for them. But who knows? Who knows? But another thing that you said that Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan could go to the Lakers together.
yeah. I don't know because I didn't click on the article, but it said Lowry and DeRozan eyeing LA. So I mean that can mean the Lakers or the Clippers, but to me it means the Lakers because like who the heck wants to go to the Clippers except for Kawhi? But I would like Kyle Lowry on the Lakers. I think that would be the best possible point guard they could get, besides like Damian Lillard and Steph Curry. But Kyle Lowry would fit great. He's a champion. He's a veteran player. He can still score, been an all-star in the past. And then even if they got DeMar DeRozan too, that would be a great move. Them two played many years in Toronto, had great success. Never got past LeBron, but they can join LeBron and reunite in LA with LeBron and AD and try to win a ring.
Yeah, I mean Kyle Lowry, he was ahead of talks of the trade deadline this last season. He was the front runner to go to LA in the trade deadline. Didn't happen. He stayed with the Raptors. The Raptors said they didn't want to trade him. Uh, DeMar DeRozan, he got traded to the Spurs in that Kawhi Leonard trade. It really hurt Kyle Lowry, but he got a championship out of that. If the Lakers could get Kyle Lowry, which I'd see more than DeMar DeRozan, you get a former NBA champion. You have an All-Star right there. I mean, and if you land both of them, that's team chemistry right there. Like that's chemistry between those two guys.
Oh yeah.
But
Great.
NBA, not a lot to talk about right now.
Well, I do have one more thing. I don't know if you got this. I looked and I saw that the Warriors, so their star players like Steph and Clay
Oh
and
yeah,
Draymond,
yeah.
they want the team to trade their first round picks for a star. And those guys could include Bradley Beal, Damian Lillard, and the one I saw was Miles Turner, the Pacers center. So I think that would be good. I think it's the right thing for them to do. Well, I don't know. There's two ways the Warriors can go. They can draft with these players and build for the future, or they could trade them and try, I guess, one last dance with the Warriors crew.
Well, I'm pretty sure the Warriors do have like 3 picks in the first round this year, three or
Something like
two.
that, probably.
The Warriors are saying that they want to trade their picks to acquire some more players like Bradley Beal. I saw a lot. The Lakers or the Warriors are a pretty much a young team, acquiring like James Wiseman this last draft. I think they could improve more. I think they should keep like one of the picks and draft a young guy that has a lot of potential. But I also think that they should trade 2 of those picks maybe to get a superstar like Miles Leonard maybe or even Bradley Beal.
Yeah, that would be just. It would be a
If
good
they
thing to do.
acquire one of those guys, that's an automatic championship for them.
Yeah,
Because you got Klay Thompson coming back from a nasty injury for the first time in like 2 years.
and then the best point guard in basketball. I think that'd
But
be.
yeah, and also you got James Wiseman's potential. If he can stay healthy, then who knows what the future holds for him. But next up is the MLB. So crazy news in the last 24 hours. So we got a name change for a team. Didn't see this coming at all. Um, the
No way.
Cleveland the Cleveland Indians are going to be changing their name this season to the Cleveland Guardians, which is pretty weird. I mean, a lot of people ever since the Redskins changed their name to the Washington Football Team are also saying that the Cleveland Indians are pretty much a not likable name because the Indians, because it's sort of like the Redskins. But they got their logo, they got their logo, their team font and everything. The Guardians. How do you feel about that?
Well, I will say that when years ago when the Indians got rid of the Indian logo, like Chief Wahoo's what it called. I can see why they got rid of that. It definitely the logo is kind of you can perceive it as racist. It's got an Indian who's red, whatever. But I don't know about the name. But they changed it for the reasons that they don't want to be associated with things like that anymore. So the Cleveland Guardians, you know, it's gonna be weird. It is weird already. Nobody's used to it, and I think everybody hates it. But they said the name changes because there's these bridges in Cleveland that have guardians on them, and they did it because of that. Um, the logo's cool. It has like a G on a baseball with wings. That's pretty sick. But the other stuff is kind of just their normal Cleveland Indians font and logo, just slightly altered. But with any name change that happens in sports, and this is gonna happen when the football team chooses a name, it's gonna suck, and nobody's gonna like it until people get used to it.
I mean, yeah, I mean that's usually how it always is.
Hmm.
But we got our first like I think it's our first big trade. This new trade deadline. Well, I mean, this one isn't that big compared to the next one after. It's Rich Hill going to the New York Mets. The New York Mets. I mean, I don't really have. I mean, Rich Hill has been a pretty good player for the, uh, the the Rays this season. He has a 3.87 ERA, 91 strikeouts. He is an old veteran uh, starting pitcher. He's a lefty. He is 41 years old. That's really old. I mean, the Mets could use some pitching because Jacob DeGrom, I feel like he's always injured with like some forearm inflation or something like that. He's always on like the 10-day IL, so they're gonna need a new pitcher for him.
Yeah, man. I mean, the Mets need pitching. You know, they're missing DeGrom. They're missing Noah Syndergaard. He should be coming back soon. They're missing Carlos Carrasco. They're missing a bunch of starting pitchers, and their bullpen's getting destroyed, or not destroyed, but it's being heavily used. So they need a save. They need some arms. And the Rich Hill, you know, he's one of the oldest players in baseball, and but he's still been solid. 3.87 ERA, like you said, that's pretty good for a starting pitcher. And he's just going to eat innings for the Mets, and then that's what a team needs throughout the season: just eat innings and be solid.
You know, Rich Hill, he has been in a lot of teams. He more recently the Dodgers, which I'm a Dodgers fan, but he he has been a pretty decent, pitcher for the Rays. The Rays also traded for Nelson Cruz from the Minnesota Twins. You know, Rich Hill got traded because they needed a roster space for Nelson Cruz, maybe. But Nelson Cruz, very good DH. He's a very powerful man. That's another 41-year-old person that got traded. And Nelson Cruz to the Rays. What do you have to say about that?
This one's crazy. I knew Nelson Cruz was going to get traded. I didn't really think of any places he would get traded. But the Rays is an interesting one. You know, they have a lot of position players. They got Wander Franco, Brandon Lau, Joey Wendell, G-Man Choi, Arosa Reyna, Kiermaier, uh, Austin Meadows, and now Nelson Cruz. And Austin Meadows has been their DH this season. That's obviously going to change. Nelson Cruz is not going to play in the field, especially at 41. This man is literally just on the field to hit nukes. And the Rays have built their offense around hitting home runs. If they don't hit home runs, they're most likely not winning the game. So they're just going to add another power bat in Cruz, who's one of the best power hitters in baseball since like 2013.
You know, Nelson Cruz has 19 home runs, 294 batting average, and a 370 on base percentage. Like, that's pretty good right there for a 41-year-old man.
I believe I saw this stat that said since he left the Rangers at 32 many years ago, he has not had a season besides 2020 where he hasn't hit at least 40 home runs. That is crazy, man. That just shows how good of a hitter he is. Absolute stud at the plate with his power. It's incredible.
So we got some rumors. I think it's like 8 days until the trade line or something like that. But so we got some Trevor Story rumors. He said that he doesn't want to play for Rockies, and he's going to be a free agent soon. We got some rumors for him. We got the first rumor. We got the New York Yankees. Trevor Story is hitting 11 home runs. He's batting 243 and a 316 on base percentage. He played in the home run derby, made it to the second round, but lost to Trey Mancini. Was he an All Star this year? I don't remember.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think he was, but pretty decent season all in all for Trevor Story so far.
Yeah, there's supposed to be 6 to 8 teams that have contacted the Rockies about Story, and the Yankees being one of them. The Rockies GM, I guess he's their interim GM, and he said he doesn't see the need to trade Trevor Story for some reason, because they can just offer him a qualifying offer and he'll decline that and they'll get a draft pick if a team signs him. But I mean, what would you rather have? One draft pick that's going to be after the first round, or really good prospect haul that you could possibly get for trading him. I would trade Trevor Story. The Yankees make a lot of sense. They need a shortstop because Gleyber Torres defensively at shortstop is not it. He needs to play like second base. And DJ LeMahieu can move around. He can play any position in the infield, and you could possibly think about moving him to the outfield. He can play first base, and the Yankees could really use that. They need sparks in their lineup, so maybe him and Joey Gallo. I don't think they have the prospect capital to do both, but that would be sick if they could do both. But yeah, I definitely think he needs to be traded.
Another rumor I saw for Trevor Story is this is the second one out of three. I have the Oakland A's. The Oakland A's, they lost Marcus Semien last off season. I'm forgetting who's their shortstop right now.
Elvis Andrus.
Elvis Andrews. Well, Trevor Story. Honestly, I would see him more in a Yankees uniform than an A's uniform, if I'm being completely honest.
Yeah, I mean, if he gets traded to the A's, he's only going to be there for the remaining of this season because they're not going to re-sign him because for some reason a team that this is a problem with the Oakland A's and they're so annoying. They act like they have no money when they are literally a professional sports team with a billionaire owner and they generate so much revenue, but they act like they have $2 in their bank account. So they can definitely afford Trevor Story. They just don't want to. But I think wherever he goes, I think in the offseason he's going to end up as a Yankee. But the A's could definitely use him because Elvis Andrus is bad, and their offense could always use another bat.
Another rumor is the Chicago White Sox. Chicago White Sox are going to make the playoffs this season. Tim Anderson is their shortstop. Now, what are they going to do if they acquire Trevor Story?
I've heard that some people say put Trevor Story at second, and some people say put Tim Anderson at second. And I mean that you could do either one, or you could just move Yohan Moncada back to second base where he's played in the past, and move Story to third or Anderson to third. But dude, if the White Sox added Trevor Story, I think it's over in the American League. That's a really good team.
That's that's probably the best infield right there. I mean, you got the reigning MVP. You got the former top prospect in Yohan Moncada, which is really good at defense. Tim Anderson, one of the most exciting players in the league, and Trevor Story, really a power bat who is really good at defense.
Yeah.
So, do you have anything on the MLB other than what I just said?
The Mets are debuting their black uniforms tonight. We'll put I don't know, I won't promise we'll put a picture up, but we might. They wore these uniforms a long time ago, and they haven't worn them in a long time, and they're super sick, and they're bringing them back tonight.
But next up is the NFL. A lot to talk about in the NFL. It's usually the other way around. Usually there's a lot of talk about the NBA and MLB, but no NFL. Now it's the other way around. There's a lot of talk about in the NFL. First off, we got NFL is basically forcing players and staff members to get the COVID vaccine. Otherwise, if staff members don't, then they have the risk of forfeiting games or just not playing in general. I mean,
Yeah.
and also the Vikings O-line coach and the uh, Patriots assistant coach are going to be off the team this season because of that new rule.
Dude, what's even crazier too is if a game's forfeited, I believe the team that forfeits has to pay the loss in revenue, which could be like $70 million is what I heard for just one game of not being played. There's so many problems with this on so many different levels. Some people, one NFL player, former defensive back Darius Butler, he tweeted out that the NFL basically forcing people to get the vaccine is not the right thing to do, and that it should be up to choice. And he got a lot of controversy for that because it's making him seem like he's anti-vaccination. And it's a personal decision on whether or not you want to get vaccinated for COVID. if you feel like it's the right thing to do and you want to do it, then you should go ahead and do it. But if you're not comfortable doing it, then that's your decision. And the NFL is basically saying, dude, if you don't get the vaccine and you get COVID and cause your team to miss a game or get postponed, then you're going to forfeit and basically lose money. And I think that's just wrong. The NFL should not force, no one should force you to get a vaccination. That is a personal decision, and the NFL is not respecting that.
I've seen stuff about DeAndre Hopkins, like questioning his future in Arizona because of this new rule. Because I don't think he wants to get it. A lot of players don't want to get it, and they're questioning their future and what team they want to play on, or their team they're playing on because of this new rule. They're like, if I don't get it, I'm gonna have to I'm costing my team games. I'm costing my team games. I don't want to do that. I'm costing my team money. And that NFL, be better, man. Just be better. But next thing is Michael Thomas is is like expected to miss the start of the season because of an ankle surgery that he had this offseason. Because what was he injured last season because of his ankle? Yeah, so
Yeah.
he's having surgery to fix whatever was wrong with his ankle. Didn't play that much at all this last season. Um, but I mean that's going to be a really tough loss for the Saints. You got Drew Brees retiring. People are wondering who's going to play quarterback, Jameis Winston or Taysom Hill, and you're losing your best receiver in Michael Thomas.
Yeah, I mean, he is one of the best wide receivers in the game. On our wide receiver rankings video, or not our video, but in that episode of the podcast, he was both ranked in our top 10.
He wasn't.
He wasn't in yours? Oh, damn. Well, he was in mine. I thought he was in yours. Um, but he's a really good receiver, and the Saints they're gonna need him because Drew Brees is gone, and there's questions on that offense. They still have Alvin Kamara, one of the best running backs in the league, but other than that, you're looking at Jameis Winston, and who is he really going to throw the ball to besides Michael Thomas? And the options aren't the greatest. So the Saints are going to need him, and I mean, I don't even know if the Saints with him are going to be as competitive as they have been in years past.
Next thing, Devonte Adams and the Green Bay Packers have ended their talks about long-term extensions. Packers are a big team this off season right now because of guys like Aaron Rodgers saying that he doesn't want to play for that team anymore, and players on the Packers saying that they have no respect for Aaron Rodgers for what he said. And Devonte Adams, um, they ended their long-term extension talks. Devonte Adams was a 1,300 yard receiver last year, probably the best receiver in the league. He had 18 touchdowns. You don't want to lose the best receiver in the league. You don't want to do that.
No. And you know, people are wondering with him most likely not going to extend and probably going to leave in free agency at this point. Could he reunite with his former college quarterback Derek Carr? Because he's made
Ooh.
comments in the past saying he would love to play with Derek Carr, and then people were saying, "Oh, he's going to go play for the Raiders." He said, "No, no, 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 no. I was just saying it'd be great to play with him again." But could he go to Las Vegas and play with Carr? Maybe. Um,
Or he could go to a team that Aaron Rodgers is on. If Aaron Rodgers goes to a different team, he could go to that team as well and reunite that dynamic duo.
yeah, because it's clear the reason he doesn't want to sign an extension or wants to end these talks. Maybe the money's low because the Packers don't offer big contracts to anyone really, but maybe it's the money, or the more likely option is that Aaron Rodgers is not going to be the quarterback, possibly this season, but 100% next season. He's not going to be a Green Bay Packer, and they're going to be their quarterback. So why would he want to stay there with Jordan Love as his quarterback? And that's no knock on Jordan Love, but Devonte Adams obviously wants to win, and it's not a given that you're going to win with Jordan Love. So he's obviously looking to see where he could go. And the interesting thing that I heard is if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play this season, do the Packers trade Devonte Adams this year to get value out of him? Because they're not going to get value out of Rodgers. So do they just say, well, we'll just trade Devonte Adams as well this season if Rodgers doesn't play?
That's a very interesting one because you can get so much stuff for Devonte Adams, the best receiver in the league. And if I was the Packers, if Aaron Rodgers doesn't change his mind, which I guarantee he's not going to, and the players have said it that they don't really like Aaron Rodgers anymore after what he said. So there's no going back now for that. But if Aaron Rodgers doesn't play next season and you're not good, if I was Packers, I would definitely trade Devonte Adams because you can get you can get first round picks out of that. You can get a top like 50 player from that. Like you can get so much stuff just for Devonte Adams alone. But next up, speaking about extensions, we got the most probably the number one linebacker in the league is Fred Warner. He's arguably the best linebacker in the league right now. He's so young. They signed the 49ers signed him to a 5-year, $95 million contract. That is $40.5 million guaranteed in guarantees. Fred Warner is a very good coverage linebacker. He played all 16 games last season, only had 1 sack, but he doesn't rush the quarterback as much as, like Khalil Mack or Von Miller. 79 solo tackles and a forced fumble. Fred Warner, he's really good. He's a 1-time Pro Bowler and an All-Pro. Fred Warner is super good at what he does.
In his 3 years in the NFL, he has played all 16 games. He's played 48 games in his career. He has 2 interceptions last season. He had, 1 forced fumble. He has 5 in his career. He's just like you said, he's a really good coverage linebacker, one of the best linebackers in the NFL, a part of one of the best, if not the best defense in the NFL with the 49ers. And, he's so young, and locking him up for 5 years, $95 million. Man's got his own bag, and the Niners get to keep one of the best linebackers and keep that defensive core together for so long now.
I'm pretty sure. I mean, Fred Warner, I'm pretty sure by the contract is up. I don't think he would be in his 30s. I mean,
He'll be like 29.
Yeah, that is crazy. Like, you sign somebody for a 5-year extension, they're not even going to be in their 30s when the time is up. But me and Connor are going to be talking about now our top 5 Super Bowl rings. My list, I don't really have like any of the old rings because they don't look good at all. But I'll let you lead off, Connor, with number 5.
So my number 5, I have the Indianapolis Colts Super Bowl ring from 2007. It's really a really simple ring. However, the way the logo with the blue diamonds or whatever the gem is, it's just really clean. I like that look, and that is my number 5.
My number 5 is the Packers Super Bowl ring from Super Bowl 45. It's the ring just with the giant G in the middle and the green in the back, and then you got the 4 footballs on the top corner with the diamonds in it. I mean, that right there is just a sight to see. Right there, it's super good.
Number 4 for me is going to be the Patriots from 2019. This one's so sick. It has all 6 of their Super Bowl trophies on the ring, covered in diamonds, and then it's got the Patriot logo with the red and blue gems as well. World champions all over it. It looks like a massive ring, but the trophies on it just make it so sick.
My number 9 is the Eagles.
You mean number 4, right?
All right, number 4. My number 4 is Eagles Super Bowl 42 logo or 42 ring. I mean, it's super nice. It's one of the most recent rings. I mean, it's so clean. I mean, all the diamonds and then the Eagles logo and the green emeralds, I'm pretty sure that is in the background of the one Super Bowl trophy that they have because that was the first one. I mean, that is so clean.
Number 3 for me is the Kansas City Chiefs 2020 Super Bowl ring. This one, once again, is so cool. The World Champions is outlined in gold, and then you have the 2 Super Bowl trophies and the Kansas City logo. The KC on the logo has red rubies, and the background has red rubies too. So this ring is just overall really sick.
My number 3 is a Super Bowl ring that just got opened like yesterday. That is the Bucks Super Bowl 55. I mean, it's like basically all in gold. It looks like, and I mean the red in the Tampa Bay logo. I mean, it's super nice for like especially for a modern day ring, modern day Super Bowl ring. So it's my number 3.
Oh damn, I just saw this one. Um, my number 2 is the Philadelphia Eagles from 2018. Like you said, it is just so clean with the emeralds they have going on in the back and to outline the eagle itself and that one trophy. Uh, the one I just saw that almost changed my opinion was the Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl XL. That one's pretty sick. But my number 2 is the Eagles.
My number 2 is the Kansas City Chiefs of what 2020. I mean or yeah 2020. I mean you said it all, man. Like the rubies in the background, especially with the KC and then the gold outline in the KC and the world champions. You got the 2 Super Bowl trophies in the back, meaning they got 2 Super Bowl wins to their names, and everything else is just like laced in diamonds. It's everything, man. It's super nice. I mean, the gold and the red, that is crazy nice.
My number 1, I saw this one and I knew it was number 1. It is the Saints 2010 Super Bowl ring. It is so sick because the Saints colors are black and gold and they are like all over this with the diamonds. The black and gold on the ring just looks so sick itself. Saints logo is covered in diamonds, and it just looks like one of those classic rings. You know, it's just such a good ring.
Yeah, my number 1 is also the Saints Super Bowl 44 ring. I mean everything is so nice. The one thing I don't like about it is that diamond just right in the middle, that the
Hmm.
circle. I don't really like that, but sorry to sneeze, but uh, everything else about that logo or that ring. I mean, the logo itself. They got all the diamonds in it, and then you got the world champions in gold, and then the world champions are in black. I mean, the black and gold itself for the Chiefs, their logos are nice. Their logo is nice. The uniforms are nice. The ring is even better.
Let me oh shoot, I want to show this one ring real quick. No, it doesn't matter. The Ravens suck at making Super Bowl rings. All of their logos on the ring look so silly with like a red dot on their eye.
It's disgusting. I mean, they try to make it nice, but it's
Doesn't
not
work.
nice. It's not. They should just not make the eye at all. They should just be a giant bee.
All right, and then I guess we'll just talk about this last thing. I wanted to talk about it, Gavin, not so much, but in the NCAA in college football, and I guess this is in all college sports because it affects all of them. In the Big 12, the Oklahoma Sooners and Texas Longhorns have notified the Big 12 that they plan to leave the conference. And the reports are, and the front runner is that they will join the SEC, the stacked SEC. So, Gavin, what do you have to say about this?
Nothing.
Okay. Well, what I want to say about this is that, them joining the SEC would be just crazy. The SEC is the most stacked conference in college football with schools like Alabama, Auburn, Florida. Florida. They got Georgia in there. They have so many stacked teams in there, and adding Oklahoma to that mix would be incredible. You know, Oklahoma has made the college football playoff a lot, but that may just be in part to the fact that they're in the Big 12, and them joining the SEC may just hinder the fact that they can really compete and make the college football playoff again. And then Texas joining them is really stupid. The Texas football program has not been good in a very long time. They act like they're good. They think they're a really good program. They're not. They suck on so many levels. They have Steve Sarkisian as their coach, so they're trying to do something, but they just don't know how to live life correctly. So they want to join the SEC and get. That's the Ravens Super Bowl logo if you're watching on YouTube. On one of their rings, it just looks so. It doesn't look as strong as the Ravens logo, but these conference moves has also brought in the fact that the Big 10 is trying to recruit some schools. The Big 12 might dismantle now since the Big 12 is going to suck. The Pac-12 is trying to absorb schools. So, this move right here by these two programs, Oklahoma and Texas, could have big ripples across college football for a pretty long time.
Well, I mean, that's pretty much everything. A lot to talk about in the NFL. That's not usually how it goes, The NBA, the Bucks finally won that championship. But I mean, that's pretty much going to wrap it up for today's episode of Know the Game. Thank you guys so much for watching. On all platforms, on YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes.
Bro, I got to do the outro because I have
everything else. So I'm going to kick it over to the co-host, Connor. Just kidding. I'm going to kick it over to Connor.
So, just real quick, the Olympics start tonight. I don't know if we're going to have much to talk about in that, but I was watching rowing earlier today. So that was pretty sick. Men's and women's rowing. The opening ceremonies are tonight. So, go USA. Also, we would like to announce we are adding people to Sideline Sports. So we'd like to announce the first new member of Sideline Sports, Luke Steinman. He's a friend of mine, and he wanted to join. We talked to him, and he's going to join us. He not on Know the Game, but on another football show and whatever else he wants to do. So we're glad to have you, Luke, and welcome to Sideline Sports, and just congratulations, man. And yeah, that's going to do it for this episode of Know the Game. It's actually this is our shortest episode yet. It's only 42 minutes long. So hopefully you watched the whole thing through, because you really should. It's not an hour long. I know Gavin's dad was like, why you make them an hour long? Well, we don't try to. But, this episode was shorter. We thought we had way more things to talk about. Just a short episode. Thank you so much for tuning in to this episode of Know the Game on Sideline Sports. Check out our Instagram, Sideline Sports Instagram, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace out.